Alright, so the last selectors we'll look at are Document.querySelector and Document.querySelectorAll. These are the most flexible of the selectors we have looked at because they will accept IDs, classes, tag names, and more. Let's look at an example in the console. To code along with me, first download the course folder from the link in the description below and open it with your favorite code editor. Here I'm using Visual Studio Code. From the course folder, open the exercise folder called JavaScript DOM. And then open the index.html file in the browser. In the index.html file, remember to link app.js file. Now flip back to the browser, refresh the page, open the console, next in the console, I'll try to select all li tags using the Document.querySelectorAll methods. So I'll type Document.querySelectorAll. And pass in li tag. I'll press enter. You can see that we got a collection of all the list items on the page. Now let's try the Document.querySelector method. So I'll type Document.querySelector and pass in li tag. I'll press enter, and now we only get the first one back. That's the only difference between the two. The Document.querySelector method will only return the first matching element, in this case the first li tag from the list. But the Document.querySelectorAll method will return all matching elements. And we can also select by ID. Let's select heading by its ID, my heading. To do that, we'll use the CSS selector for an ID, which starts with the hash symbol. So I'll type Document.querySelector and pass in hash my heading. I'll press enter, and as you can see, we get the h1 element. Now let's select the list items by their class, not car. So I'll type Document.querySelectorAll and again we can use a CSS selector for a class which starts with a period. So I'll pass in dot not car. I'll press enter. And cool, this returns the 3 list items with the class not car. Now let's flip back to the index.html file and create an attribute to select. Let's give the second paragraph a title attribute so we can see how to select it with JavaScript. I'll make the title something simple like label. I'll save the change. Refresh the page. In the console, we can select it by putting the title attribute and its value into square brackets separated by an equal sign. So I'll type Document.querySelector and pass in a set of square bracket title equal label. I'll press enter. You see that it returns the paragraph with the title attribute. Cool. Now let's flip back to the app.js file. First, I replace the class name selector here with querySelectorAll method. Then pass in the class selector .NotCar. I'll save the change. Refresh the page and make sure nothing changed. Good. Now let's do something fancy using a CSS pseudo class selector. With the nth child pseudo class selector, we can zebra strip the list without relying on classes. In the app.js file, I'll simply copy this code block and paste the new one right below. And now I'll update a few things here. First, I'll update this variable name to evens. Then I'll update this class selector to nth child pseudo class selector. So I'll type li colon nth child and pass in even. Then I'll update all the instances of NotCar to evens in the for loop. And finally, for the style change we want to make, I'll just set their backgrounds to light gray. So I'll type dot background color and pass in light gray. Now, if you're not familiar with CSS pseudo classes, that's okay. I just want to show you that something like this is possible. I'll save the change. Refresh the page. And you see that every even list item has a light gray background. Now, just for fun, let's go back and change even to odd. I'll save the change. Refresh the page. You see that every odd list item has a light gray background. As you can see, these selection methods are very powerful and flexible. And up next, I'll teach you when to use which selection methods in JavaScript.